Meeting comes to order at 6:34. Letting everybody know it's being recorded, and roll call. Chris Werland here.
Chris Williams. Oh, good.
Great day.
Chris Williams.
Andy Brown.
Christine Erm is out tonight. And minutes from last meeting.
I didn't see anything.
Okay,
I moved to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
What about our special meeting minutes?
Okay, it's on the back of the budget.
Okay,
Oh, it was. Right there.
okay, so edits to the agenda. We'll talk about the special meeting minutes. Any other amendments to the agenda?
Move to approve.
Move to approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'm gonna sneak that in right now then. Special meeting minutes. Did everybody get a chance to read those? Meeting came to order. Roll call, no guests. Discussion, job duties, and draft contract for medical administrator. Held 2 interviews with the medical administrator candidates and discussed interviews and unanimously agreed to recommend.
Held a second interview.
Yeah. What did I say?
2 interviews.
Oh, second interview,
Okay.
sorry. Recommended Andy Cornell for the position.
We've
So-
approved the special meeting minutes.
Okay? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll go ahead and sign that. Do you want Chris's signature, or do you want to wait until Christine comes back? Okay. All right, treasurer's report.
I have a question.
Okay,
What are we having Jensen and Spratling do each month that's costing $3,500?
Jensen's brother does payroll,
For $3,500?
and that's not the monthly amount. There was some extra work that they were doing that cost additional to the amount of their monthly amount of for payroll, which is around 15, 17. I can't remember exactly the number.
That was the estimate that we got back.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering why we spent so much. Are we not giving them the payroll in a form that's easy to process? Are they having to spend too much time getting it in a place where they can enter stuff into QuickBooks?
I'm not sure we're giving them time cards. So
You're not giving them a concise spreadsheet that says Terry had 107 regular hours, 14 overtime hours, and 10 holiday hours.
no, I think they get the time cards that the employees fill out.
So is there a way that maybe we could help them out so that they're spending less time? Because $3,500 is a lot more than what we budgeted.
Can I jump in?
Yes,
Please.
please.
Kathy and I, Kathy came up with a spreadsheet to include with the timesheets. That everything is
Laid out for them.
laid out. So now when we go through the timesheets, we'll also fill that out and she'll have a more compact
Excellent.
thing to go through. And then she'll just have to more or less go through and verify what those figures are. So her time should be down considerably.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any
That was
other-
my only question.
Okay. Ray, any questions on the treasurer's report?
No.
Oh, wait, no, I do have one more. Where is the the pay for the paramedics on the? I don't see paramedics listed on the expense report, the profit and loss. I see BLS medics, ALS medics. I see. I don't see any paramedics on there, and I know that we employ a couple.
Mhm.
Part of the
That
ALS.
would be
line.
LS with
Yeah.
it.
In the advanced,
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick it out here.
'Cause-
Yeah.
Advanced.
No, you're fine. You poke me all you
No,
want.
I felt
Well, I'm
like-
seeing 26,000 for BLS medics, only 7,500 for advanced.
I think it's right in here. In the advanced. I can go in and look if you want me to.
Well, I think that we have some coding issues. That's what I suspect. Yeah. Right. That was my only other comment I wanted to raise.
So treasurer's report, do I have a motion to accept?
Move to approve.
I'll second it.
Been moved and approved, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Payment of the bills.
I move we pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public comment.
Aye.
He caught up.
Sorry, Chris.
That's okay. Public comment. No, I think you actually have a line.
She's under
Line
new
item.
business.
You have a line item.
Thank you. No,
Are you together?
We're together.
Okay. Yeah, you get to wait.
We didn't know, we missed our cue. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we're like. Okay. Any other public comment? Budget, old building, business, budget. I had Chris print this off or rerun it. And then Dave made a couple changes. Did you get a chance to look at it? Dave, can you tell me what?
The changes were updates to the special funds. So that the actual cash on hand is the actual number. So there's 40,000 of cash on hand on the ambulance replacement fund and the other ones are the same.
Okay,
Not the same number, but the same concept.
This one's not. This one's not it. No. Nope, none of the stuff I put in's on that one.
okay, this,
How
does
about
that
this?
look one? You can spot it better. Run
Nope.
it.
Nope, that's not it either.
Okay,
It should look like.
yeah, that's the one that
It
Dave had made changes to, but
should look like. This is the one that I did. And it have our stuff approved by the budget committee and the detail is much more detailed.
Okay,
LP 31. So, but it's not gonna have Dave's updates in it evidently.
well, and your updates are, you said the special fund
Correct.
pages. So can we add those to it?
What does he have for total resources? No. See, he's still got 250,000 for charge for service for office space. That, it's not the same document.
Okay, but these were the three that he updated, he said.
Yeah, those are different numbers.
Okay,
So I don't think we can,
do it tonight?
nope.
Okay. Well, do you want this then? So you
For the
have
last,
the 3 pages?
sure, that'd work.
Okay,
We'll try it again.
all right. We'll try again next month.
It has to have it next month.
Yeah. Okay, collections.
And adopt.
Did we get from Blake?
I never received anything.
Did you get anything from Blake?
No, anything from Blake that I get it all, it's being forwarded to Andy.
Okay. And see, he promised me, what, 3 months ago now, and I've still not gotten anything but that one day.
You're
So,
supposed to send it every month?
yep, that's what he told me. He said he already sent it to you guys. So,
Is that the Excel spreadsheet that is
Yeah.
that what it's referring to? I think that comes from one of his billing personnel, but we'll look into it.
okay. New business, resolution approve the proposed budget, we're gonna wait on. And the tax rate,
Probably go ahead and approve that one.
yeah. Nope. I guess we can have that, it's empty. Okay. Just throw it on. That's the budget.
Behind it, probably not.
By this resolution, we, the Board of East Umatilla County Ambulance Area Health District, hereby resolve to declare the tax rate for us as $1 per 1,000 of assessed value as determined by the Umatilla County Tax Assessor. Resolution 2504. Do I have a motion to approve and sign?
I move we approve the resolution and sign.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
This one, we all get to sign?
Yep.
All right.
Since we're not voting on that one.
Pick up.
Okay, I did. You want that? I did. All right, discussion utilizing Athena Medic Bay. Yota.
We've got a small presentation and, just kind of an update on what we're doing in the building too. And,
great.
yeah. This is Abby Cragen. She's our community access coordinator and my presentation guru. She said that before I hook it up. Yeah, that's right. She is going to kind of set that up for you guys.
Okay. My only request is we are videoing, so don't hide in the corner.
Okay.
So.
I'm not hired, you're okay. Me on the other hand.
Oh, he updated the hero. The equipment replacement, the ambulance replacement, and the building.
It was my fault. I didn't, the catch on hand, I didn't roll the right number up. So that I could change that.
Yeah, all right, where's the, which one?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, where would you like me to stand? Wherever, is it right here? It's okay? Yeah, okay. Gotcha. I just want to make sure I can tap this because I didn't bring it a little quicker. So, Sparrow Services, I'm not sure if everybody knows what that is. That's Shauna's brainchild, and basically, you know, we are important. Everybody's important with all abilities. So, next couple of slides kind of talk about kind of what we do and how we do it. So specialized in disability related needs, social foster care, residential care, behavior services, day support services, IEP, school related services, employment and business development. That is a lot. So we have been very busy. As you well know, Shauna had Calvert Consulting. It's now been merged and we have created Sparrow Services, which incorporates all those things we just talked about. This also helps fund the community center, which you're so generously letting us use. So we have been busy. We've added all sorts of accoutrements. So it's helping everybody. So, you know, there was a loss of a life at the high school. We opened up our building. High schoolers could come over, talk to counselors if they needed to. We had additional space. Warm cookies, basketball, throw against the wall, or just into a hoop while they're thinking. So I know that the library has told us a lot that a lot of kids just kind of hang out there afterwards to be able to go and do their sports because there's nowhere else to go. So that's part of what the building is doing. Very cool. We have added a cardio room to kind of the bigger room. Most of the equipment has been donated. We have them sign a waiver. We currently, so we have 25 members already. Some people are going in there. It's going to help you because we're hoping we're going to keep kind of our older community up, working on their mobility, working on their strength, their fitness. We have a couple people that are coming in. Their physical therapy was no longer being paid for. So now they're continuing their physical therapy in the building, which is hopefully keeping you guys with less phone calls. And people healthier, happier. They also get to pop in and, you know, sometimes we send them home with food. We whatever it is they need. Bag of ice, they have an ice machine. We're helping a couple people that live in the trailers and they don't have access to a big fridge and they need ice. So just stopping in, seeing people, kind of getting people involved in the community and doing different fun activities. So you have a fitness room, it's super fun, it's coded entry. We kind of separated the building up a little bit by moving the gate that was in there. This allows them to have free access to this 24/7. We pay membership, they use a code, they get it. He helps organize all that.
The coding.
This is also a stability bar that we put in along one of the hallways so that people can work on some of their weight. And if they do have mobility issues, this can help them from falling and continuing to maintain their health and hopefully help them stay at home longer. So this was kind of the vision. I don't know if you guys have seen the cool sign that was got up on the building. Delighted to say the high schoolers had a big part in doing this. We got some quotes for some signs. They were outrageous. So we got creative. And we contacted the school and Calvert Consulting made a generous donation to the school for the supplies. And the students get to walk by and say, oh, I did that, or I helped with that. Yeah. So local person designed it and painted, UV coated, easy to maintain. And something really exciting for them to look at. Also, we do have a foosball table. This is drawn in some teenagers. It's kind of cool. So at lunchtime, they kind of pop in and they'll have some snacks if we have them there. They'll play with each other. They'll talk to people. And some of our disabled people that are on site get to interact, which is also really nice.
We do have a little storefront, so if you guys, we don't have great hours, because we don't have enough volunteers yet, so yes, that's me begging for volunteers. Please contact me. Information's at the end. So we do have a little store, so we have a lot of people with great, our pottery, super reasonably priced, painting, people do macrame, honey. So, it's 20 minutes either way if you want to go get a gift for somebody, or you can stop at our store. And somebody does beautiful photography, these beautiful cards that are absolutely gorgeous. They're worth putting in a frame. So you get 2 for 1, and it's cheaper than Safeway.
By far.
Currently, we have our high school teacher. She is teaching a watercolor class. So it's bringing in both young and old, which is super fantastic. Some people are learning old dogs new tricks, that situation. It's just super fun. So feel free to kind of keep our window. We're trying to keep the things updated. We will be coming website soon, business cards next week. We're gonna be real. Counseling and behavioral support. We have brought on, I think Shauna was started with just 1/2. And now there's 10 employees of the company. One of them is a behavior support specialist. So great resource, helping people with just behavioral things that maybe they know they have, and they need a little assistance. So how do we get to know you? We drag you in, foosball, cooking, art classes, get to know you, and we get to know what some of your needs are. And oftentimes we'll have a quick resolution, or we know somebody who has something or something to tow, something. So there's probably 100 little micro things that have happened since we've opened the building, and you guys have allowed us to utilize that space. So how do we get to know you? We're nosy. That's how we get to know you. And we try and entice you in. Lots of different learners, probably don't need to know about that today, but we kind of try and figure out what their real needs are, because sometimes people just hand you money. Maybe you don't need money. Maybe you need a car in order to get to the store, to get the groceries, to get back, or you need to go to physical therapy because your family isn't able to bring you to work. So we're trying to think outside the box. It's not always just about money. Sometimes it's just about talking with somebody and spending time with them. Job development, job coaching. Sometimes people find the right job, sometimes they don't. So we try and assist with that as well. Transition housing and emergency lodging. I think the minute she signed the lease, I think 60 days later, we had our first homeless gal and child that moved in, and we helped them with their budget dramatically. I think we reduced their overall expenditures by, I would say it was 56%. So that helped them get caught up. It helps them improve their credit, because if you don't have good credit, you're not getting into an apartment. So we got to live through her getting declined the first time because she wasn't quite there, but then she understood the process and she really hunkered down and made some sacrifices, and she and her child are happily in good housing and not worried about it.
Cool.
Yeah. So some of the things we'd like to do, we have a summer cooking program for the middle schoolers. Some of this is about helping people learn how to eat well and to cook well, and they haven't been taught. They just keep going to the convenience store, grabbing something and thinking, that's fine. So this program, we're hoping we'd like to run at 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. We'd be out of that facility by then. This is what we would like to do over the summer. It's geared towards middle schoolers. So this is something we're looking to do. We'd love to do. So this is an ask.
This is in your bigger space of the bay, having the ambulance move out for a few hours and us move in, and our insurance still covers that property anyway, so it would be.
So that's ask number 1, and I always think we need at least 3, so I added 1. Another need is we need to get the screens replaced. I think we have all the tools for it. So anyway, we were happy to do some of those as long as we can reach them. But anyway, we would like to get those replaced. We have a water fountain that I don't know if you guys can sell it or use it, but it isn't used. It looks like I think the thing works, but the faucet thing is broken off. So I don't know if you guys can sell it and get it rehabbed, or can you just get it removed because it kind of blocks some of our
Our access.
some of our access for our clients that don't walk as well. And our program is growing, so we've kind of expanded the space a little bit, so we'd like to do that. In addition, we have the biohazard containers in all of the rooms. I think those need to be removed. A lot of them are almost full. I was jiggling them. I get very creative, so you'll want to do that before I get creative. So anyway, and I'm sure those could be utilized somewhere too. So I'd love to, if there's some way you guys can help to repurpose those. I'll volunteer my time to help you guys get them to a new home if that's what's needed. We do need to replace the carpet in the main meeting area. We duct taped it. We got duct taped the same color as carpet, so it's pretty attractive. But we would like to pull up that. We do have some clients, that have some, we never know what we're gonna get, see how their stomachs are, so we would like to pull up the carpet and put down linoleum. We would rerun it through the main area. We would rerun the bathroom so that it would match, and we would like to run it into the auxiliary room where the carpet is, just to keep the building clean and fresh. So that was something we would love to do, and then we'd love to see if we can get a couple months of rent, and we'll take care of all the other costs. So those are our big asks, 1, 2, and 3. You get to give us 4. Cody. Matt, that's pretty much it. We appreciate you letting us use the building. We wanted you to know some of the cool things that were happening in it. So there's lots of little micro things that are happening, which are super fun. We get to share every day with each other because there's so many things happening. We forget that you should tell other people too. With privacy in mind. Do you have any questions about the building or what our purpose is? Cool.
No, I did have a question. So I don't know what the status of the Red Cross is now. So with fire, could we use this space?
For Red Cross.
I don't even know if Red Cross is performing it.
Or
Well,
For like training
for
or?
once in a great while, we'll get somebody whose house clears out or something.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Usually the Red Cross, and I don't know, are they even working in Umatilla County anymore?
Yeah.
Typically, if they have someone to house, they'll
Yeah.
put them in a hotel, and they'll offer hotel first.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, if they're still around, then.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there was a couple that they had lost their house on the mountain, but they were able to find housing, but, and then I think there's somebody in town who was looking for some, like a 5 or 9 day stay for some activities that are happening in Athena. And honestly, we would just lock off that one room, and they're welcome to use the bathroom, the kitchen, and.
Yeah, it's gonna benefit the gym theater, so they have somebody coming in to do some equipment on the gym. And so instead of finding an Airbnb for 9 days, which is costly, we just offered that space for them so that they didn't have to pay for that. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to use it. It's community, that's what it's for. So we hope to keep using it for that. And because our program is growing, we do end up going over into the apartment and using it. We leave that door open and we use that space when there's nobody in there, so.
And they get better lunches. So
Yeah, it's gonna be cooking in that kitchen, yeah. We're not cooking out of a crock pot, so. Yeah, and so that community program that Abby was talking about, it incorporates our junior high students, so it will teach them some life skills, and somebody coming from Walla Walla doing this program through the church too. I think Ethan would be coordinating that program, so he was gonna come tonight, but he had another conflict, so he couldn't be here.
So it would be in the kitchen.
It's sort of in the kitchen, but also because if there's 30 kids, I can't fit them in that room, right? So we would kind of utilize the kitchen a bit as a pass through, and then everything else would happen in the bay. So we were just asking if the bay could be utilized for those couple of hours for some kids.
How often?
So
A
that
couple
was-
hours times what?
It's every Wednesday night from June through July is what I think we had on there. Don't quote me. We'll look at what the notes say.
Yeah, Wednesday afternoons, 3:30 to 6:30. June through July is currently what we have it. We'd like to use it for.
And it would probably be 3 to 7 in all fairness, just for cleanup and
Right.
getting
I
out
already
of your
buffered
space.
it
You buffered it
based
already,
on
thank
this
you.
email.
Oh,
I put
perfect.
half an hour for
You
it.
did the half an hour thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Andy, is that feasible?
How much stuff is in there that it would need to get moved?
We do have belongings in there. I mean, we had some expired beds and they were talking about it. So let's move those
Okay.
over here. Let's get those out of the way. So if it is an option, that's one thing less to worry about. My biggest concern is, I know how kids are. I don't know how I was, and, oh, let's look in here. Oh, let's look in here.
Right.
We use that as our second out ambulance, so if a call does come, that's the first place where everybody's going to get that second ambulance, so. I do have concerns the ambulance being out for that amount of time. Of course, we have kids that are gonna walk around, they're gonna wanna open the ambulance door, what's in there, so.
Is there a possibility that on Wednesdays we can bring it over here and let it sit for 4 hours? Then it's out of the public's hands area.
That's definitely a possibility. I think we could even put it somewhere closer in town, but I would have to talk to Chief Beatty about that one.
I think I'm more worried about stuff in boxes that we need
That's
to
what I'm
move.
worried about. Yeah, and there, like, we do have a few supplies there, but not anything real crazy, but that's just the concern is people getting into stuff. Find stuff missing, not saying that they're gonna do that, but.
Right.
We don't wanna think that way, but we have to look at all angles of everything.
You also have all the storage in the basement in the building, so if that's an easy location and you can put a combination lock on that door really easily, if that was something, because nobody goes down there at the moment.
I have tires down there right now.
So I don't know if that's a solution to your problem. I've never even seen inside the building, so I have no idea what's in there, so. And moving stuff, so I get it.
I guess that would be our first concern to assess that.
Okay.
But we have, what? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? So,
Chris, I'm sorry, but Shauna, did I hear right? There's Sharps containers with Sharps inside of them?
Correct.
That will be caught tomorrow, I promise you.
Thank you.
They're locked, fortunately.
There's no keys for
But
them?
there's no keys, we were
We
trying
looked
to
for
get rid of
keys
them
the other day.
ourselves, but we.
I did
gotta
remove one
figure-
off the wall.
We gotta figure out
Nicely,
how to
but-
do that, and if it means tear them off the wall, we gotta tear them off the wall. We cannot
Fortunately,
leave.
they're in our offices and out of the public eye,
I'm
but still
thankful
it's
for
in
that,
my,
but,
yeah,
but
it's still
still,
in my office,
that's
yeah.
that's a biohazard. We gotta
Yeah.
do something with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we have to tear them off the wall, then we'll talk to Mark and find out how he did it, and if it's pre-treated, then so be it, that's what
Most
we're
likely that's what
Tear
we're
'em
gonna
off
have
the
to do.
I got
Tear 'em
some
off the
hand
wall.
sanitizers off the wall.
Yeah.
It's creative. Got a drill.
well, and we may have to borrow a key from Pendleton or Hermiston or the hospital even.
Well, they
I
come
think it's
off-
just a matter of getting them off the wall and getting them disposed of.
Yeah, I think that's the main.
I don't think, and Andy, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that those are really reusable once you start putting
No.
that stuff in there, and
The
so.
exterior case is, that's why the lock's there, but the actual biohazard
Oh.
container
Right.
itself,
It's done.
I mean, we can bring those over here
I mean, once you get them open and,
before we have.
We could take them
disposed of.
down to, Old McHenry's, the transfer station, and they burn them up for us.
Mhm.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I was like, this is a nice addition to the office. You know what have stuff in it?
Yes. Thank you for letting us know
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
We'll get it
absolutely.
taken care of.
Awesome.
So 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Is it reasonable to think that we can secure some things and they can use the bay on Wednesdays, or is that too big of a reach? Or
I don't think it's unreasonable. I think what we really need is obviously somebody to supervise out there.
Oh, there's,
I
yeah.
mean, there would be, but
Yeah.
just making sure that we have that because we have supplies for washing the ambulance there.
sure,
I mean, as far as anything that's probably gonna hurt anybody, we'll have to look at that and see, like I said, Rick, once talking about it, I'm like, okay, we have stuff over there. We need to get it out anyway. Process.
Yeah.
I don't see it being too hard in 2 weeks to have it ready, if that's.
we have one client that is just cannot wait until he can wash one of your ambulance or
Oh
fire
my
trucks.
gosh. It's.
He would come unglued.
Yes.
He might live here if you
Yeah.
let him doing this.
He will volunteer and for that.
You need a washer, you got one.
Yeah, he wants to wash all of them. He saw the ambulance, he's like, can I please wash that? I was like, well, I know some people, let me see that. Let me see what I can arrange. Yeah, he would be here night and day.
I will say, if I'm around and not on shift, I will make sure that I come down on Wednesday, bring the ambulance to the appropriate spot. But we may be relying on the crew that's here, and if they need to call out, that might be kind of an issue.
Yeah, and the other thing we talked about was a pop-up tent in the drive, like where we're parking, and if something happens like that, we can pop up a tent. So it wouldn't be,
We'll have an auxiliary plan
Yeah.
in place.
oh yeah, Abby and I pre-plan and double plan and then replan
They
sometime
plan
in the
like
day.
Every once in a while.
We're like, oh, we're doing that now, okay, got it. So yeah, don't worry, if that happens, we'll just pop up a tent and make it happen.
So do you need a decision on anything from us?
No, I mean, in all honesty, we do have to replace the carpet just because of our clients and the kind of way they drag their feet and stuff. But right now we have a temporary measure in place, so we just
Okay.
kind of looking to do that improvement. And we'll probably close down our services for a few days and paint and get it all done in one fell swoop, so it's nice and clean and tidy, so.
Okay.
But
So you're asking if we would forgive basically 2 months of rent and you would take care of the floor covering?
Yeah, we would do the whole thing.
That seems pretty reasonable.
I agree.
I move that we forgive 2 months of rent, and trade it for new floor covering.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, what about the
That's more work.
So you're gonna be able to hand out.
I don't have time for that.
What else can Mark do?
Not much he can't do.
one thing occurred.
Yes.
My husband had it.
Yes.
My husband wanted to actually work full time so that he could relax. As you said.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a great idea what you guys are doing and. Toot toot. Chugga.
If there's anything you guys, because obviously you guys come across people that might need resources or solutions. If you guys ever come across them, feel free to send it to Sean or myself, see if we can help.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Dispatching, Bush 61, that is 61. That's 1. 260 South Main Street in the house, cross street, West Preston Street, timeout 1911.
Okay,
Awesome. You guys have any questions?
Thank you.
You know how to track
Know where to
them
find
down.
that.
and this community is for Athena Weston or?
You know, I would say yes, but the lady that we housed was homeless in Pendleton when we housed her. So I mean, we're community, right? We're one big community. I would like to say community, Athena Weston,
Helix.
Helix, Adams, you know, I would like to say that, but
Our district?
if there's
Okay.
a need, then we'll try to fill it. Like, I mean, recently Abby and I I got a phone call and the guy's local, but he had knee surgery and couldn't get to appointments, couldn't get ice for his knee, has Medicare. So there's zero transportation for somebody with Medicare, but Medicaid would have transported him all over the planet. So now what are we doing? We're a transportation agency too.
And the internet does not work well in Illinois.
Right. So there's just things that we fill in where assistance doesn't. So that's another thing that wrong. As we can. So,
I'll call you later.
thank you. Thanks for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for getting us on our agenda.
All right. Moving on, monthly equipment status and safety status.
We are in transition on the safety committee. So we don't have a safety committee report, and the equipment status, I would have to defer a little bit to Andy because the equipment on the ambulances and whatnot, I I haven't heard anybody complain that something's broken down or not working, so
I just,
we're fine.
honestly, well, let's see, we had an email today from the guy that does the preventive maintenance on the soil monitors. So that's scheduled. I emailed it back to have him come in and recalibrate those so that they're up to date and accurate.
Is that a yearly thing?
It is.
Thank you.
I guess we could talk about the Tahoe now. It cost us $1,100.
Dale Graves.
Yeah, from Dale Graves. They went through and replaced the fuse block and I can't remember what the other part was, but there was 2 parts they had to replace, and they estimated between $1,000 and $1,500, as I said out in the administrative report. And then brought back here, Bill still found a drain in the electrical system, so we pulled the security system. That was, I think, an aftermarket security system, and it's been working so far.
Cool.
Good deal. Awesome.
That's all I have for any of that. Any questions on what I sent out for the health administrator report?
I didn't.
Okay,
I could read it fine.
you can read it fine. Was it large enough?
It was
Okay.
large enough.
Well, sometimes we just have to have that. Here is a quote from the fitness people that I was talking about last month. This is a quote for, I don't think this is with the return of the other stuff that we returned back, but it's 3,000, I'll say $3,700 for everything that we were wanting to get.
Okay,
That would take care of everything that we need at this time.
oh, one of them.
The squat rack,
A what?
the squat rack.
Okay.
Yeah.
That-
For exercise. That's the weight holders and then the weights on the back page.
What do we have left in the medic budget that we set aside for this?
I don't-
Do we know?
There was 25 that was, if I'm remembering right, there's 25,000 that was donated. And if I remember right, about 18, high 18s, almost 19,000 was used. So it's
Okay.
right on, based on that, around 6-ish left.
Okay. Now, did we get the refund or was that refunded to whoever donated that? I just remember talking about you were given some pieces back.
So that equipment was going back to that company. And I was gonna take that out.
Okay.
I'll reach out to him and say, hey, what is our refund?
So that wasn't
for the extra
Johnny
equipment?
gave us and we refunded it. Okay. I say as long as we designated X amount of money and as long as we're not over it. How the crew wants to spend it, if that's what you guys feel you need.
Because that gets the loaned equipment out of here, so it's not our.
Yeah. Yeah. I have no objections. Objections? Okay, do what you need to do. Okay. Any other questions on the health administrator report? Chief's report.
I sent it out at the beginning of May, and there's been a lot of changes that has happened since then. The sign funding bid that we asked for like 6 or 7 bids, we had one contractor send us back a bid, just one. That's one change.
Just remember to keep track of that
Keep track, yes.
for the audit.
Oh,
Sent
yeah,
out 7 bids, got one back.
trust me. Yes. James Cordianis is doing the wildland firefighting coordination. He's doing a pretty good job with training. He's got a plan for attracting some new volunteers. He's doing a pretty good job. I've watched him and I've seen stuff with his teaching plans. He's got a pretty good handle on it. He repacked, unbeknownst to us, our wildland hose pack that goes on your backpack were not packed the correct way. They were not packed so that they could be properly deployed. He made a training session out of that today and repacked all 4 of them. So we're in pretty good shape. He's doing a pretty good job.
Good deal.
And we do have brush 61 back to us. The drivetrain warranty was honored, but there were some other electrical connections that they had to lift the cab off. So amazingly, we had to give them $900 plus they did the working work for us, that's kind of typical. The warranty walkthrough for the building was scheduled for today. It got postponed until Monday, the warranty walkthrough for the building. So we'll point some things out like the sheetrock cracking and whatnot, and the roof leaks in the apparatus bay and some other things. The dishwasher, the ice maker.
Dishwasher did leak, but we took care of that. So we're gonna mention it anyway.
And the new dispatch procedure, and we just heard dispatch, they're doing unit level dispatching and that began on May 1st. There's still a couple of kinks that they're working out, but that's the reason why it sounded a little bit different when they call out medic 6-1 and brush 6-1. That unit level dispatching is what the entire county is going to. So it's not that big of a difference for us because we have fewer dispatches, but it's a huge difference for some of the other agencies, specifically UCFD 1 and Pendleton Fire and Ambulance. They respectively have about 8,000 dispatches per year and around 5,000 dispatches per year. So, we are around 500. So it's much different for us. And they're working out the kinks. It's, for the most part, it's going the way the fire group users anticipated for it to go, but they're working out the kinks.
Any questions on that?
I'm sorry, I missed one thing.
Yes, sir.
We added a new employee, part-time employee, named Tammy Russell. She's an EMT she's been testing for her EMTA. So she's gonna help lessen the load of the overtime that we're incurring right now.
Okay.
So that will help a lot.
All right, business from the board.
None.
Right? Okay, do I have a motion to approve
So moved.
to
Sorry, Chris.
Approve ending the meeting?
adjourn? Do I
I'll
have a
second
motion
that.
to approve to adjourn? All right, so it's been moved and approved, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.